Okay, namaste. Today we have a very, very surprisingly special. I have never expected that I'm going to have this. Luck that I'm going to talk to this wonderful person, but it just happened like that, and I'm so thrilled and happy to introduce a wonderful human being. And one of the things which comes to my mind is enthusiasm. This person holds that in so beautifully. I have never seen or heard that this person has gone dull or fatigued or anything. It's constant pumping of energy. So, and also has a lot of wonderful life experiences, traveled extensively and worked a lot and acted in many movies and hosting television programs and everything. It's a joy to talk to this person and learn his life experiences. So, with great pleasure, I welcome Shri Sihi Kahi Chandru, as we all know.
Yes.
And I think your formal name is Chandrasekhar Rao.
Chandrasekhar Rao.
It's a great honor to have you here. I'm
you.
really, really blessed.
It is my privilege and honor to have met you. And it's my privilege and honor to be here talking to you. And I should be grateful that you have given me an opportunity to have a chat with you.
We are extremely grateful here because 2 days ago when I spoke to my sister that I would like to have some interviews, and she said why not? And I'm like, it happened immediately.
Yes.
It was never planned like that. So it's all great things happen spontaneously. That was how it is. What is the secret of your so much energy, enthusiasm? Where do you get that?
Yeah, actually,
and that smile.
Yeah. even sometimes I also sit and think, where do I get all this? But I guess I have always followed one principle in life. I don't immobilize my present feeling guilty about the past and worrying about the future. So I'm always alive at the moment, at the present. So what happens is I would like to enjoy whatever is happening around me now.
Okay.
So that has kept the child in me alive.
Yeah.
You understand? Like I just walked through your garden.
Yeah.
And I saw so many different kinds of trees, and I've never seen some trees in my life.
Yeah.
So that was also exciting for me. And the whole walk that I came from that place to this studio, that whole walk will remain in my memory forever because I have enjoyed every step that I took.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to tell is that I live for the moment. So I'm not prepared for anything in this world.
Wow.
I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
I just take life as it comes, and that moment I do it.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy everything. So that's probably the reason why I always tend to be energetic, tend to be, always enthusiastic and always smiling, always making people laugh, because I don't take anything beyond the moment or before the moment.
Okay.
So that's how I have led my life all through.
You don't store anything, or you are not going to postpone anything?
No. I have no regrets in life.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
the only reason why I have no regrets in life is because I have lived as it came to me.
Yeah.
Good or bad, the result, I have taken it.
Yeah.
The result of the action, good or bad, I am not bothered.
Yeah.
Okay? Sometimes something I did has misfired. I enjoyed that misfire. I'll give you an example. I suddenly one fine day I had a brainwave. I should start one business.
Yeah.
I am not at all a businessman, okay? I am an actor, basically an actor. I believe, that is my profession, and I have put my 100% to that. But suddenly, someday, I got a brainwave that I should do some business. So I started a business. I invested a lot of money, and I lived that period, you know.
Yeah.
But since I am not a businessman, it was a big mistake. It was a big mistake. I lost all the money that I had. But that never deterred me from, doing anything in life. It happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not regretted that I have lost that money.
Yes.
I'm not regretted that I've done that business because that business, whatever I did, that time period,
Yeah.
I was learning every moment.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So my knowledge increased. I lost money.
Of course. Yeah.
So if there is something to lose, there is always something to gain.
Again, yes.
Or you want to gain something, you have to lose something.
Absolutely.
I believe in that.
Yes.
So I have no regrets that I lost money. Money I can always earn.
Oh, yeah.
But I would have never earned that experience or that knowledge of that particular business if I had not put my hand in it.
Yes.
I would not have learned that at all. So that is the way I look at my life.
Yeah.
So I have lived like that. So I'm always enjoying my life and I've lived like that.
So, when you go into a business which is not your world, and because like we all do that, we all do things like that. As you said, I got a brainwave. We also do that. We go into that, and then we lose money or investment or time and everything. But normally, for most of us, when we lose, we go into depression or we go into a deep sadness or things like that. How is that like? For example, if I do something like that and I lose something, is there anything that you can tell me that I can come out of it or not to get stuck into that?
Yeah, see, if you learn to accept your failure, if you learn to, dust your pants and stand up.
Yeah.
See, everybody will fall.
Yes.
Falling is not a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because you tend to make mistakes, you fall.
Yes.
But if you don't know how to get up and start life again,
Yeah.
then regret will set in.
Yes.
Then all the negative things will set in. Your depression, whatever you're talking of, all that will set in. But if you say, okay, I have fallen, I've got up, I'll dust my pants,
Walk again.
I'll remove all the dust and walk again.
Yeah.
Let's see what will happen.
Yeah.
Okay. But the reason why I fell, I am very much conscious of,
Yes.
because I have lived that at that moment. You understand?
Yes.
So I know what I have gained.
Yes.
I look only at that part. I don't look at the other part.
Yeah.
So I personally, I have always experienced that everything has got something to teach you.
Definitely.
Whatever happens in the world happens for good. Whatever happens in your life teaches you something.
That's always.
If you are not a student, if you are not a student,
Yeah.
you will regret.
That's wonderfully said.
When you're a student,
Yeah.
you will imbibe that experience.
Yes.
You will adopt it in your life. You will know what you have to do to overcome situations like that in future.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if I get another brainwave
Yeah.
and to start some other business,
You might go in some other direction.
I will know how to handle
Yeah.
a situation where I will not fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Earlier, because I had no experience,
Yes.
I lost. But it has taught me something.
Yeah.
And whatever it has taught me, that will be incorporated when I do something else.
Wow.
And that will help me not to fail.
Yes.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So many things come to you in abundance.
Yes.
Life gives you in abundance. Always.
That's so true. That's very
It
true.
gives you good things, it gives you bad things.
Yeah.
Okay, it gives you success, it gives you failures. It gives you profit, it gives you loss. Life is like that.
Yeah.
You should know what you have to take, what you have to live. You should know when you should dust your pants and continue further. I cannot sit and say, oh, I fell down, my pant has become dirty, I had only one pant, what to do? You can't live like that.
Yeah.
You have to say, okay, yaar, chalo yaar, ganda ho yaar, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead.
Yeah.
So there'll be water ahead. I can wash myself, no problem.
Yeah.
You should have that mindset. Then you will be able to face your failures. You will be able to overcome your failures. You will be able to convert your failures to success.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I've been doing in my life, and I have no guru, I have no teacher. Life is the biggest teacher for me,
Yeah.
And it has taught me, and I've always been a student. That's why I said, as long as you are not a student, no, you will keep regretting. If you're a student every day,
Yes.
you keep learning.
Yes,
And
yes.
learning keeps you energized.
Definitely.
No, your knowledge increases. So you're always energized.
Wonderful. Wow. That's so well said, because I have seen many people, even people who come to me, they bring their own complaints, bring their own miseries and everything. And when I look at them, yes, that student nature, that receptive quality, that being a student is missing there. Yeah. So if you really keep that in mind, yes, what can I learn? What is that lesson here? So that keeps me constantly being open and
Yes.
ready to flow.
You should always be like a sponge.
Yes.
You should
Absorb.
always absorb.
Yeah.
Keep on absorbing.
Yes.
So many things happen. See, basically, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
When I was in my ninth standard, I attended a workshop, theatre workshop. Now, my guru, one Mr. Satyanarayana, he would tell me, life is the best teacher. If you want to act, do a role, you
Yeah.
should observe life.
Yes.
You should observe people. You should observe their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
You should understand human nature. You should understand how somebody reacts for a particular situation. Only when you keep practicing that observation,
Mm-hmm.
you will be a good actor.
Yes.
So what happened was it really had a big impact on my mind. And for me, every day, every moment, everything is a classroom for me. I keep, observing, I keep learning. So I have found this keeps me so occupied that I can't think of any failures. I can't think of anything negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So mind is always wanting more and more and more and more. So you're always like trying to
Yeah.
look out for better things in life. And
Yes,
that
yes,
keeps you
yes.
motivated.
Yeah.
That keeps you inspired. That keeps you positive. And automatically, once you start looking at that,
Yeah.
you will be always with energy. You'll always be, enjoying life.
Yes.
And what is there? I mean, if you to tell it very spiritually, it's a blessing that we have got this life as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and you have got one life. I don't know whether I have more lives to come in the future. Janma ಗಳಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have this life, and if I can't enjoy this, if I can't enjoy myself and make others around me happy, then there is no purpose of my life.
Yeah.
Money and all is very necessary.
Secondary.
It is necessary.
Yeah.
It is necessary. It is not everything.
Yeah. Useful.
Yeah, you need money.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
survival, you
useful
need.
things, yeah.
But what is definitely necessary is happiness.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to feel happy,
Yes.
how to make people happy, then you will always have regret, you will always have complaint, you will always be feeling sorry, you will be cursing your fate, and all that. But if you know how to give happiness,
Yeah.
then you are happy. That's how I have lived my life.
That's so wonderful. Coming to the part of your life as an actor, how do you prepare yourself for a particular role or a process of acting? Like, what is that which goes inside you?
Okay, let us say I'm doing a role of a cobbler.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Now I told you I'm a student of life.
Yes.
So from my childhood, wherever I go, if my shoe gets torn,
Yeah.
I go to a cobbler for a repair.
Yeah.
And as long as he's repairing that,
You watch.
I am focused 100%
Mm-hmm.
to see what he is doing, how he is doing,
Yes.
how he is sitting, how is he using his hands,
Yes.
what is his physical stance,
Yes.
and how does he talk, and what is the slangs that he uses when he is talking. So this observation is happening as long as he is teaching.
Yes.
And finally, when I give him the money, if he asks for 10 rupees, I at least give him 12 rupees.
yes.
10 rupees is for the job he has done, 2 rupees is for what he has taught me.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes. Yes.
Now what happens? I am doing some, let us say, a cobbler in a movie or in a play or something. Now that man comes and sits in my mind. I remember what he was doing.
Yeah.
I remember how he was using his instrument. You know, how he sharpens it
This
like
is
that
the
and
action.
cuts
Yep.
it like that,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. Yep.
So I start working like that for some time to make that come into me. I imbibe that in me.
Yeah.
And then I perform.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. Like I did a role of a conductor called Conductor Kariyappa.
Yeah.
That was a serial that was telecast on Doordarshan Bangalore. In those days, only Bangalore had
Yes.
telecast. You probably Mysore never
No, it didn't-
never
we didn't
had
have
telecast. I was doing this serial called Conductor Kariyappa. I was doing the role of Conductor Kariyappa. So for me, I used to travel in bus always because I come from a middle class family.
Yeah.
So every time a conductor was one major point of observation, fascination for me.
Yeah.
Because he is one machine. You know, you sit in a bus,
Yeah.
you don't even bother to look at his face. Correct?
Yes.
You just give money and say Saraswati
Yeah. Finished.
and he'll give you one ticket.
Yeah.
So that fellow, all he does is one ticket and put the money in the bank, give the change.
Yeah.
Next person, ticket, he goes. So for me, I was observing how this man tears the ticket, how this man puts the money in the bag, how he takes it. So for me, that observation helped me so much to do that role.
Okay.
So I would build a character for it. And I will have 100 questions to ask about the character. Like I was doing Conductor Kariyappa. So it was a script given to me as a Conductor Kariyappa. You have to do this. I sat in my house and started thinking like Kariyappa. Okay?
Yeah. Becoming.
So my preparation starts then.
Yeah.
So I will ask a question to myself. When was this Conductor Kariyappa born? So my age at that time was 35 years.
Yeah.
So he was born 35 years ago because I am doing that role.
Yes.
Okay. So who are his parents? If I have to be a conductor in my life, that means my education level is less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a start of a labor job. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my parents should not be educated.
Yeah.
If they're educated, they'll make me educated.
Yes.
So my parents are not educated. So I'll ask question, who are my parents? What are their background? What kind of a family I was born in? How did my childhood? Did I have 2 meals a day?
Yeah.
Did I have 1 meal a day? What is that I enjoyed eating? Whether it is chapati or ragi, mudda or what?
Yeah.
So these kind of questions I keep asking and finding answers and keep putting it in my mind. So when I finish answering these 100 questions, that character has come into my mind correctly. And I have observed how a conductor behaves physically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? That physical thing I imitate. And the mental thing is the answers that I found for these 100 questions.
Yeah.
Both combined, I do that role.
Wow.
So it comes out naturally.
This is so fascinating because as an outsider, or if I watch that television serial, I wouldn't know all of this
Yes.
background work, because an actor, to give the best, he has to go through such a long process of preparation. And
Yes,
then-
yes.
And when you become a Conductor Kariyappa in yourself, like you imbibe him completely,
Yes.
you are, as long as the role is there acting, you are.
I am
not
Conductor
Chandrasekhar
Kariyappa. I am
Rao,
not
you are-
Chandru.
Yeah, you are a Kariyappa then.
Yes.
And the profession is conductor. So you are two together. Once the role is finished, how do you come out of it? Because you have become that.
Yes. See, there are 2 schools of acting.
Yeah.
One is called method acting, which was basically promoted by Stanislavski.
Okay.
Now, method acting is where you totally imbibe and be that character, 24/7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that makes you perform your role very naturally, very good. But the problem with method acting is, how do you switch over?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you come out of that once that is over?
Yes.
So there is another school of acting which is based on intuition.
Okay.
Okay, you're intuitive.
Yeah.
At that moment, fine.
Yeah.
You're that. The moment is over, you're over.
Yeah.
You're yourself.
Yourself. Yeah.
So I club both.
Mhm.
So I know when I can be the character, when I can snap and come out of the character.
Yeah.
And being in film, that is for me very, very essential. Because you see, we act for one shot.
Yes.
Whereas in theater,
No, it's
I do a full play.
Yeah.
2 hours. 2 hours, I cannot come out of my character.
Yeah.
I have to be that character. As soon as I enter into the stage in front of the lights,
Done.
I am that character.
Yeah.
Till the curtain call happens and till the play is over,
Yeah.
I have to be the character. But in cinema or in television, it is only one shot.
Yeah.
When the director says action and he says cut,
Yeah.
between that time period, or whether it might be 30 seconds, it might be 40 seconds, it may be 1 minute or 2 minutes, or sometimes even more than that.
Yeah.
But whatever time, from the word action to cut,
Yeah.
what I hear as an actor, that time only I have to be that character.
Mhm.
The moment cut happens,
Yeah.
I cut, I switch it off.
Yeah.
I'm Chandru.
Okay.
Again, when I stand in front of the camera, he says, "Ready, camera." I become that character, and then he says, "Action." I am that character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that switching, I learned it only from theater,
Okay.
because I have practiced method acting.
Mhm.
I have practiced intuitive acting. So both has helped me, and I adopt it.
Okay.
And most of the actors are
Yeah.
like that. If there are some brilliant actors who still follow method acting, and that has sometimes they find it very difficult to come out of their character
Mm.
and become their normal self. So it takes time.
Yeah.
Even, for example, I have met actors who are very great performers. After the play is over, they're still that character.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
They're stuck in that time frame, in that mental state, that for me to understand that they have come out of it and they are normal, I find they have taken at least a day or two.
Okay. Yeah.
It affects so much.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I have learned how to switch it off and switch it on.
Okay. Because the reason I asked this question is, couple of years ago, I did a workshop for a group of actors from Denmark and France region, ballet dancers and actors, theater people. Most of them had this problem as an issue. They go into the role, maybe they go into the role as a method acting, and then they don't know how to come back. So that was, some of them were traumatized by those roles they had gone through. Because if they are doing a negative role as a villain or as somebody like a tyrant or something, when they go home, they still carry that person with them.
Yes.
So they were traumatized, and I was working with them, and I had to take them back, and we did the work. But probably they should know this intuitive acting too,
True.
to switch off that part.
And otherwise, by nature, I told you, I live for the moment.
Exactly.
That's my nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the moment my job as conductor Karyappa is over,
You're Chandru.
I'm Chandru again. I just switch over very easily.
Yeah.
This requires a lot of training.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
For me, by God's grace, it happened naturally in my life.
Yes.
But in theater, there is a series of training that happens where we are taught how to come out of a role.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's not only how to go inside a role.
Yes.
We are also taught how to come out of a role.
Yeah.
So that training also happens in theater.
It is like the Abhimanyu Chakravyuha.
Yes.
You know how to go in, and then
you can't come
trap.
out. Yes.
Yes. So you need to know both.
People, there are a lot of people who are able to do it.
Yeah.
Some people are not able to do it.
Yeah.
Probably because they see, again, if you look into their background, if you look into their upbringing, if you look in, you will find that they are actually mentally in that state. They get hooked onto something, they can't leave it.
Yes.
There's some kind of obsessions they'll have. All that will be there in their actual life.
Yeah.
which is the mind is susceptible to, hanging on to one
Holding
thing.
on, yes. Yeah.
So those people would find it difficult to come out.
Yeah. I think they identify with that source
Exactly.
strongly, and
Yeah, it happens.
because we all of us, we live for our identity.
Yes.
If I don't have an identity, I'm lost. So if I do a great role and I'm holding on to that identity,
Yeah.
I don't want to let go now.
Yes, true. That happens.
Because being Naga Kumar or being that king I played, the king looks much more glamorous.
yes. And you want to be the king. Why do you want to be Nagakumar again?
Yeah, I don't want to come back to myself. So,
that happens to many people, I have observed.
Yeah.
And they find it very difficult. They are very good performers.
Yeah.
Brilliant performers. You will find them so natural on stage, you will never feel they're acting. They're so good. But the moment the role is over, or the drama is over, or the shot is over, they're still the same thing.
Yeah.
Probably because their background, mental framework is like that.
Yes.
They get hooked onto something, they're always hooked on. They don't know how to break free.
So that's the most important lesson for most of us in general life too.
Yes.
Because for example, I'm doing this work right now, then I go back into my house and then I have to be myself, son to my mother, husband and father, and my cow doesn't bother what role I am playing. So I have to disconnect to everything and be there.
Exactly. So the word disconnect is very important. Yeah.
These are the lessons that we actually need in day-to-day life, because we have to play the role in totality, whatever the role we are in. But we don't have to play the same role. When I'm cooking, I cannot play the same role what I'm playing role when I'm in with my cows or with my dogs.
Yes. When you're talking to your wife, you're different. When you're talking to your son, you're different.
Completely.
When you're talking to your mother, you're different.
Yeah.
See, you're doing 3 roles there only.
Yeah.
So every time in your life, every moment, when you live that moment, only then you will be able to do that role correctly.
Yeah.
If you don't live that moment and you're carrying something from the past,
Yeah.
or if you're worried about tomorrow, you will never do this role properly.
So I'm going to overlap things here.
Yeah, that is when all this happens.
Yes.
So you need to define your role at that moment.
Clearly.
And do that role at that moment. You should not think of anything else.
That's so clear. That's so beautiful, because many of us, we mess up our relationships or processes of life because we are not clear. Because like, I am sitting here, I am talking to you. This is wonderful and this is all I have got now. If I start thinking of like, okay, can I make any money out of him, or should I squeeze him a bit more? Then I'm not honest here.
See, when you are talking to me,
Yeah.
or I'm talking to you, I am involved with you at this moment and I am in this moment.
Yes.
I had a fight with somebody in the morning.
Yeah.
That is in my mind. I cannot talk to you properly
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
because that is overriding whatever the moment is happening. You should know how to switch off that fight in the morning
Yes.
with whomever.
Yeah, whatever that part.
Here, only concentrate on what you're doing. That if one person can learn that ability to be at the moment, alive at the moment,
Yeah.
then switching will be very easy.
And life becomes much more smooth.
Yes. You will accept everything, easily.
Yeah.
See, once you accept, you don't have anything to crib about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay? Only when you don't know how to accept, it keeps bugging you, it keeps irritating you, you are always thinking of that. So you tend to forget your moment, the present.
Yeah.
So learn to accept, good or bad, learn to accept, live with it. Enjoy that moment.
See, this is what you are saying, like learn to accept. All the masters, all the Buddhas, they have said this.
Yes.
This is what basic line they say, love yourself, accept yourself. What does it mean? So we don't get it. Some of them may understand, but many of us, we are like, how to accept myself? But as you are explaining it here, it's like you are giving a commentary on Buddha's statement. It's such a wonderful thing.
See, let us say I have a fight with you,
Yeah.
okay? And you are upset, I am upset,
Yes.
okay? Now, as long as I am upset, I'm angry with you.
Yep.
As long as I'm upset, I don't like to see your face.
Yeah.
And this keeps on going on. But if I accept you are right, just which means I have to forego my ego a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, Nagakumar is right, I am wrong. Sorry, over. I am happy. If you are of the same kind, you are also
I
happy.
can also do the same thing.
Okay?
Yeah.
You are also happy. Now, for me, I said, okay, all right, he thinks I have made a mistake.
Okay.
I'll accept it. I made a mistake. Why should I prove to him that I am right and he is wrong?
So
Okay.
in that moment, you finished your process.
Finished. My job is over. That
You
moment,
cut that.
as long as I was upset with you, I fought with you, all that is over there. And the moment I've accepted this fact, I am relieved of all that. I'm my normal myself.
If I don't accept, I am carrying it.
You are carrying it.
So
See, there's a beautiful story of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln had this habit of criticizing people. Okay, he would always find fault, and
Yeah.
he would always say, "This is not the way to do it."
it's easy to do that. Yeah.
Yes, everybody does it.
Yeah.
So even Abraham Lincoln used to do it, and Abraham Lincoln would go one step ahead. Suppose he had found something wrong with Nagakumar, and he had not met Nagakumar. He would write a letter to Nagakumar and say, "This is what your mistake is. You should not do this." He would criticize you.
Yeah.
This was Abraham Lincoln's nature.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, one day he criticized somebody and that person took it offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a big argument. The argument was so big that they decided to have a sword duel
Okay. Yeah.
and settle it.
Mm-hmm.
So this man challenged Abraham Lincoln, said, if you are so right,
Come.
challenge me with a sword duel.
That's good.
Abraham Lincoln did not know the art of sword fighting. But he wanted to prove he's right. So he said, all right,
Mm.
let's have a duel. I need 1 month's time for this duel because I don't know
Yeah.
sword fighting.
I have to
I'll have to
prepare.
learn. So a date was fixed. 1 month later, on the decided date, decided time, they met and the duel started. Abraham Lincoln, in that time period he had taken, had mastered the art of sword fighting.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that a great duel happened. Nobody was losing, nobody was winning. It happened and happened. At one point of time, one truth dawned to Abraham Lincoln. He threw the sword and turned. He writes, the truth that dawned to me was that if you criticize anybody, they will only try to justify themselves. They will never accept.
Wow. True.
So why should you criticize? Accept it. Leave it at that. From that day, Abraham Lincoln changed. He never criticized anybody. It's his point of view. I'll accept that. So what I'm trying to say is that acceptance level, no, it happen in various levels.
Yes.
You should be conscious of it.
Yeah.
Then you can really enjoy whatever you're doing. You will never feel sad. You will never feel, dejected. None of the negative things come into you.
Yeah.
Because you will live only at that moment. This seems like a very big philosophy.
No.
But if you can adapt it in your life, you're the
Exactly.
most, happiest person in the world.
I was thinking on the other side. If the truth had not dawned on him, he had gone to the extent of damaging the other person. One more might have gotten damaged.
Yes.
Either Lincoln or the other one would have.
Some damage would have happened, yeah.
So just because of that criticism or holding that this is the right, I am right, you are wrong, we go to the extent of
Damaging there.
it. Usually in this fight, it could be a physical one. But in many of our efforts of proving that I am right, what kind of damage I'm inflicting on the other, we never know.
What is the damage I'm inflicting on myself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Forget others.
Myself, yes, true.
There
This
is
is what
another
I'm
beautiful story. There are two monks, okay? Staunch Buddhist monks, who are bachelors and who taken bachelorism as,
Celibacy.
celibacy is there. They are walking and they have to cross the river, okay? And they are walking through the river to cross it.
Yeah.
When a girl comes and she's scared of water, she's
Yeah.
not able to cross. So one of the monks, he just lifted her, kept her on his shoulder and crossed the river and left her down, and they both started walking further. The other monk was very disturbed because he carried a girl that
Yeah.
too was wet on his shoulder and he crossed the river. How can he even touch a girl?
Yeah.
So this thought was bugging him, and then they walked some distance, and then I have to ask you, why did you carry her?
Why did you touch her?
Why did you touch her? We are monks, we should not touch her.
Yeah.
So this fellow said, Arey, I carried her and left her on the bank, you are still carrying her.
Exactly. This is how we participate in life.
Yeah, so we keep carrying. We
Yeah.
keep carrying.
Yeah.
So if you learn to accept, you will know how to leave it there.
Yeah, we need to learn how to drop.
Yeah, you should not carry it further.
Yeah. Probably when he carried, he did not have any thinking or plans
Nothing.
or anything.
He just wanted to help her. He helped her. He left her. He
Finished and
went.
gone.
But the other person was thinking of that all the way till he asked the question.
And-
Maybe they had walked about 5 kilometers.
And he could not help her.
Yeah, he did not help her.
Yeah.
First point, he did not help her.
But he troubled himself.
But he troubled himself all the while. Why was he carrying? Oh, he has carried her. He just touched the girl. This keeps on in his mind.
Yeah.
So this fellow says, Arey, I carried her. I left her there only. You're still carrying her.
This is such a deep lesson
Yes.
because we don't learn this, and that's one of the reasons that we are doing this kind of work. Like because I get stuck in life in many levels, or many people get stuck when we listen to somebody who can bring the same essence in a different way. It hits us so well. So it's such a wonderful thing.
See, I'm a human being. I also feel sad.
Yeah.
But because I have learned to live at that moment, that sadness is only as long as it's there.
Yeah.
The moment I accept, okay, has happened, I'm here
Yeah.
with failure,
Yes.
over. Till that moment, I am sad. After that, I'm normal. Okay, let's see what I can do next.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would say you should reinvent yourself every moment.
Yes.
You should.
Yes.
You should keep on transforming. You
Yes.
can't be the same thing.
Yeah.
You have to keep changing. You have to keep. It's like
Becoming new.
how the cell keeps dividing and keeps forming different organs
Yes.
in the womb.
Yes. Yes.
You are though you have grown and all that, you are mentally, you should be able to
Keep growing.
keep on changing, keep
Yes.
on changing. Then you are not stuck to something,
Yeah.
and you are always happy.
Yeah.
You are always happy, and you will always take life as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know to take life as it comes, you are stuck.
Wow. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good things happen, bad things happen. When good things happen, enjoy it. When bad things happen, learn from it. Don't crib.
Yes. Yes.
You should learn from it. If you can learn, if you can understand that and adapt, then you will always have positivity around you. You'll always be smiling. You're always happy. You're always making others happy. You're enjoying life. You're enjoying whatever you do. So that's how I am.
That's so wonderful. It's such a nice, wonderful thing to talk to you. I'm so happy that we got this opportunity.
And I generally don't talk always.
No, this is
Your question instigated me. I lived the moment. That's all.
wonderful. That's what this interview is all about. This is wonderful. This is how it should be, because many people need this kind of because nobody would listen to anybody when we go and tell them you're wrong, you're right, but they will somehow look for some answers. This might be of some help to somebody, we don't know wherever. At least for me and for all of us here, it may have touched somewhere, did something there. And I'm so thankful for that.
Thank you. The golden rule, as I said, live for the moment, not for yesterday, not for tomorrow. That's the golden rule. That happens, everything will fall in place.
Wonderful.
I am so grateful that you considered me worthwhile to be, spoken to. You considered me, that I am able to give some light on this very, very, very intriguing psychological thing.
Yeah.
How can a man be enthusiastic always? Everybody are puzzled by that.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So, but there are so many people who are like that, and I have observed that they all have lived their life for the present.
Yeah.
So,
But now I can see it.
so you can always be happy as long as you enjoy that. You are enjoying your life. That's all.
I'm really enjoying this process right now. I'm so happy, and this is what you have triggered in me now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
for this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless.